Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review. This movie is a drama from Iceland, Icelandic language English subs, released in the year 2018, directed by Benedict Erlingsson, and this film is called Woman at War. So Woman at War is about a female dubbed as the Mountain Woman. Now this woman is anonymous, she hasn't been caught, but she roams the countryside of Iceland conducting acts of sabotage against a company that she deems responsible for destroying nature. So the more that this company succeeds, the gloomier the outlook is going to be, and so she's going to stop at nothing in order to shut them down. So not only is this creating notoriety locally, but it's also gaining international headlines, much to the displeasure of the Icelandic government. It's making them look very incompetent. So they're upping the stakes as trying to find out who she is. They're getting these dogs to sniff, they're getting these helicopters, they're getting these all kinds of technology in order to try and stop her from making Iceland look bad, and that is creating a lot of suspicion on this particular person. Now this particular person, we learn, is a choir teacher in a very peaceful village. Now this choir teacher always had a dream of being a mother, and that dream is about to be realised through an adoption agency when she is given a photo of a young Ukrainian girl. Now she is very excited about this, but this coincides with her last final act of sabotage that's going to cap off everything. But unfortunately she realises if she's found out, then her dream of being a mother is going to be destroyed. So she's going to have to weigh up all pros and cons of what she's doing, and whether or not she succeeds is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Woman at War. I absolutely love this film, and I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but I still say I'm surprised because it's definitely not the movie I was expecting. Now, Icelandic cinema recently has been absolutely superb, and so I had that hope that this is going to be a film that was going to knock me out of the park, but I had skepticism because of the fact this is an environmentalist film. Now, it wouldn't be the first environmentalist film to make you feel bad as to contributing to the downfall of humanity, the downfall of nature, and how evil we are. We're contributing to global warming. It's going to be a preachy sort of self-righteous experience, and so that's initially my skepticism coming into it. That's the reason why I thought as though this may not have been an Icelandic film that I would enjoy. But I was surprised, and those skepticisms were put to rest fairly early when I knew what kind of movie this would be. This is an absolutely beautiful film, both on the outside and on the inside. The personality that this movie possesses is just as beautiful as the stunning cinematography that this movie shows. This is a fine example of how Iceland is one of the most beautiful landscapes that you will ever see, and that raises the stakes as far as, you know, what nature is up against, these corporations, these faceless corporations that are seen as the villains. So it's not painting any one particular person as a villain in this case, it's painting those corporations who see dollar signs opposed to what nature is. And so you feel that plight of what this woman is going through. You feel as though she is the hero and she's defending nature, and the stakes are very high as far as Mother Nature is concerned, because if she doesn't stop these corporations, all of this landscape is going to be destroyed. So it's beautiful to look at, but it's also got a very beautiful soul, because this main character, I thought she was a beautiful human being. And so this is where human nature comes in with Mother Nature, and how both of them need each other to coexist. And so basically this woman, she is not only trying to do things right for nature, but she's also trying to do the right things for herself, come to terms with who she is as a person. Ultimately, she is a beautiful person because she leads a choir, she does a lot of things for the community, and ultimately she's going to achieve her dream of being a mother. And because you like her so much, I felt as though the stakes in her situation were raised as well. Not only does Mother Nature have to fight against this corporation, but she also has to try and remain anonymous, because if she's found out, she's ultimately going to lose her dream. And so I thought as though the thrilling aspects of this movie worked remarkably well because of how much you like this woman and how this woman stood to lose. And ultimately it was a selfless act because she was fighting for nature, and this is something that a lot of us will ignore, and this is where I thought the preachiness would come into it. But yeah, I was really surprised to see it's not so much a story about environmentalism, it's a story about nature. And so she wanted to preserve that dream of being a mother, but she didn't see that any more important than that of saving nature. And so for that, I just thought it was a very beautiful outlook that the film had. And so not only is it beautiful to look at, but the inside is very, very strong. And I thought the thrilling set pieces, you got helicopter chases, you've got these bloodhounds trying to sniff her out, and she is hiding, and there are moments that actually had me on the edge of my seat. So as far as a traditional thriller is concerned, this didn't need shootouts, it didn't need explosions. It's just the fact that she had so much to lose that I thought had me on the edge of my seat. So the set pieces I thought were phenomenal. A lot better than a lot of traditional sort of thrillers with car chases and shootouts are concerned, because as I said, it's that very strong core that the movie has, and what it has is just the beautiful nature that it possesses. So that was all very good. And you've also got the quirkiness that the movie has that really drives home the deadpan humour, and that is down to the soundtrack. The soundtrack was very quirky, but the way the soundtrack is used, you know exactly what I mean when you see it. I thought that was very different, and it also almost had this in a different sort of dimension. I thought the quirkiness and the bizarre quality as far as some of the techniques used to tell a story were concerned, I thought just made it very, very different to what you were expecting, and so that was fantastic. And I thought the ending was great. It's just a really, really beautiful looking film, and you had that thrilling sort of aspect that made it on the edge of your seat stuff, and so I was riveted from the very first minute to the last minute. I thought the script was fantastic. There was a very unfortunate tourist in this movie that I thought was out of place, but it was a welcome surprise. I thought, again, that was the deadpan humour. To say that this tourist was unlucky is an understatement, and I thought as though his character could have been, it wasn't really needed, but it was there just to make you laugh, and so I thought that was a very charming sort of element that the film had. If I have issues with Woman at War, I thought as though there were some repetitive moments where it kind of made its point, but it was kind of overusing it. So it's like, and that overuse was in that soundtrack department, the quirkiness. I thought, okay, well, at the start you're kind of taken off, you think, okay, well, that was cool, but it uses it a little bit too much where you start to think it's starting to outstay its welcome. And so I thought as though it knew that it was quirky, but it was just trying a little bit too hard to be a strange film. But fortunately, it doesn't really sidetrack the movie in what was just an absolutely beautiful experience. It's an experience that I would highly recommend to everyone out there because it was very suspenseful. The stakes are very, very high, and as I said, it's just a beautiful evolution of a beautiful character and what we'll do in order to preserve the beauty that is around us. So overall, for Woman at War, going to give this one 4.5 stars. It was fantastic. Go out there and see it. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.